All right, good morning. We'll get started here in a few minutes. We'll give folks a couple of minutes to join us. Good morning, Ricky. Ricky, are you getting notifications from YouTube when this session opens? Okay, excellent. Good morning, Shadow Hunter. We'll get started here in about a minute or so, guys. Just kind of giving folks a chance to join us. I do have every morning. Okay. I do have the risk disclosure up, so you can review that while we're waiting. Morning, Stumps. Morning, Paula. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. I do have the risk disclosure up. Just gonna remind everyone that the content that being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided is intended or contained herein is intended as investment advice, an offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, instrument, or fund. We all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk, and it's not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer to buy, sell, recommend futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, Sergey. Good morning, Great Dane. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead, now that we've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, let's go ahead and open up the news portal and take a look to see what kind of news we have in store or in process of being shared. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see my screen here. Yeah. Okay. So we have let's see, we had a U.S. trade balance a report come out. We have Fed member Bostic speaking here at 12:45 Eastern. We have the note yield report coming out at 1 p.m. And then we have some more Fed members speaking here at 4 o'clock. Okay. So, yeah. So actually, thought it'd be a little bit more in the way of news tomorrow. Looks like it's a little bit deeper, and just as we progress in the week, more and more news events that could potentially move markets. Okay. Okay. So not much in the way of news, I would say. We're always at the mercy of some sort of geopolitical event that could cause the markets into a frenzy here. Okay. A lot going on in the Middle East. So anything along those lines could have a potential impact on the markets here. Okay, so are you part of the VIP coach? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Great Dane. I am part of the VIP coaching staff at Top Step. That is correct. Okay. Morning, David. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the charts here. Okay. And I was actually kind of reviewing gold. Watch move around here a little bit. All right. So you guys hopefully can see my charts. At least I'm getting confirmation on my end that you are indeed able to see them. Okay. So as we start with all the markets, guys, and where we always start with the macro view, we take a look at the daily and ask ourselves the question: what is the what are the markets trying to accomplish? Okay. So of late, gold has been, I guess, a little bit of a challenge. It's been quite range bound of late. We've been kind of ranging between 2650 and 2700. Okay, in that range, a lot of overlapping candles. Okay, a lot of overlapping candles indicating that that we're in some sort of consolidation or ranging kind of price action. Okay, so really difficult, to well, I guess it's relatively more difficult to trade in a range than a trend. Okay, to be fair. Okay, but looking at prior to this range, I'm sure everyone would agree that we've been in a very strong market to the upside. Okay, now the longer we stay here without auction markets, if you think about the financial market as an auction, the longer we stay at a particular price opens up the possibility of price falling, right, to attract more buyers, right? So something along these kind of lines. The longer we stay kind of in this kind of range, the greater the likelihood that the auctioneer or the market makers will need to auction price to the downside to attract more buyers. Okay. So again, the bulls, or those who are in this, are quite eager to see the market make new highs to kind of reestablish the trend that we've been having of late in the bull market that we've had of late in the gold. Okay, so so while we are bullish, we've been kind of, I would say, a little bit neutral of late. Okay, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. I'm going to go ahead and shut down some of these drawings here. Okay, so 4-hour chart, we've made lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so we have a lower high, we have a lower low, lower high, not quite a lower low. Okay, so but nonetheless, you can see that we were again we're in this bearish channel. Okay, to the downside, right? Now, to really embrace the longs again, okay, we really need to break above, I think I may have mentioned this already, 2680. And then ultimately, we need to get above 2690 to really embrace the longs, okay? We need to get above this channel to really embrace the longs. Okay, so we need, in order to really break some of the structure that we've had here, bearish structure that we've had of late. Okay, so so again, the market does feel a little bit like that this is just merely a retracement. Okay, and that eventually that we'll pick up some steam here to the upside. That's what it feels like, but that doesn't mean that it necessarily needs to happen. Okay, if we get price to close below 2655, there's no reason that we can't go back to retest 2618. Okay, so we're at a juncture here where we can go in either direction. Okay, and the channel is kind of serving as my guide here. Okay, so right now I would have to kind of err on the side of maybe selling off the top of this channel here, right? The top line of this channel to the downside. Okay, and if I'm closer to the bottom end of the channel, then that's kind of where I probably need to think about more buy. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing on the 4-hour chart. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove the channel, and we're just going to take a look at these recent bars here. And what I'm okay, let me so again, I'm looking at the continuous contract, Alejandro. Okay, that could potentially explain it. But let's go ahead and move to now that I'm looking at the 30-minute, let's take a look at this and see. All right, maybe maybe it has adjusted some. I'm not sure. All right, so we have the average daily range and initial average daily range and average session range. We had a very nice reversal. Okay, yeah, because I'm looking at the actual contract. Okay, I was looking at the continuous contract before. Okay, so here we are. As I mentioned, so we're this is the average daily range of session ranges. Look at the nice reversal that we got off of the average daily range, right? We price reached the average daily range and reversed away from it. Okay. So let's go ahead and add our levels to the chart here. So let's locate our levels. All right, here are our levels. Okay, we'll just gotta double confirm them. All right, so average daily range, we have 2679. That's within tolerances. 2679.10. That's a little bit of an adjustment as a result of the open of the market. So we'll go ahead and make that adjustment. Okay, and then on the low end we have 2654. 2654. 54. That's see 54 even. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at our value area. All right. So let's make sure that I'm looking at the right time frame. I am not. So I'm going to adjust this to 8:30 Eastern time. Okay. And this is our initial balance. That's also 8:30 to 9:30. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. So right now, we had price traverse through the entire range of value from yesterday. Okay. And it now has been rejected. So that could be a sign that maybe they're paving the way for further price action to the downside, or we could potentially rally from here. Okay. So in order for me to, so as long as price stays above value, I have to err on the side of the bulls. Okay. And what I would like to see is price to close above 2670. Okay. 2670 is kind of my price to really kind of support a bullish trade using maybe value area high and settlement price as my reference level here. Okay, so we have I would say about average, maybe a little bit bigger than average initial balance range. Okay, so just kind of double checking on some of these levels. We have see 266650 as our value area high. We have 2665 as our value area low, not the value area low. Okay. And then actually that's our point of control. And then settlement, we're at 26,666. Okay. Yeah. So again, everything, the levels that we've identified seem to be in order here. So again, like I said, right now, price is above um, settlement. It's above value. Okay. Um, which could indicate that we will get further price action to the upside. Excuse me. Further price action to the upside. If price does close back inside value, then we could experience some price movement to the to the downside. Excuse me, guys. I'm dealing with a little bit of a sneeze attack here. Okay. All right. So like I said, if we do get price to close inside value, then we improve our odds of price continuing to move in that. Yes, a little bit of allergies for sure. Okay, so if we do get price to close back inside value, then we improve our odds of price traversing through in value again, and maybe potentially getting down to this ASR range. Okay, so we're at an important juncture, I would say, in the gold market. Okay, so we'll have to see how this 30-minute candle will close in about 9 minutes to see. Okay. Let's see what anything else that I should be saying. If I'm bullish on the market, ideally I want to buy at a demand level, such as this reference level that we have here. Okay. If I do decide on the short, this level above me, ASR high, ADR high would be a reasonable level for that. Okay. Yes. Some people. All right. So yeah. So in any case, guys, it will be interesting to see how this current price candle closes. Whether we get a close below value area high, below settlement price, or do we get a close above value? If we get a close above value, then I would say that with our chances of further price action to the upside improve. And if we get a close below value, below settlement, then maybe we go in that direction. So that's kind of my view of the gold market, guys. So right now we're kind of in a key area of decision, I guess, in the market. So we'll have to wait and let this candle kind of play itself out before we make any sort of decision. Me personally, as you know, I'm always waiting for some sort of extension unless we're kind of close to some sort of structure that would allow me to manage my risk. Right now, we have to be patient and wait for price action to establish exactly what it wants to do. Okay. So that's, I think, pretty much what I have for the gold market. Like I said, right now we're right at an area of decision. So, kind of bullish above. And when I say above, I would say ideally we want to get above 2670, okay, in order to support a long. And then if we close back inside or below value area high and settlement price, then that could lead to a maybe some price action to the downside. So we'll have to see in the next 6 minutes or so how that all plays out. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the crude oil market as I stabilize my allergies here. Okay, so let's move to the crude oil. So crude oil is down at these levels here. We'll start with the daily, okay, and get a feel for what the daily is telling us. And the daily is telling us that we've been kind of in a bullish market of late. Okay, but now we're developing some bearish activity up against an area where we would expect some resistance. Okay, here, right, supply area. All right, we're at the top, basically the top of the range that we've been in. Okay, so the question is this going to be the impetus, or that would lead us to another swing to the downside? Okay, this is still very much a developing candle. Okay, still very much a developing candle since we are working off of the daily chart. So can't, but the fact that it is developing bearish is something to make note of. Okay. Otherwise, we've been kind of in a range, I would say between 78 and 65. Okay. So right now we're at the top of the range, and historically, when we've been at these levels, we've sold off. Okay. The question is, will that happen now over the next few days? All right. Looking at the 4-hour chart. All right, we have a series of candles here. We'll go ahead and turn this off here for a moment. Okay, we'll turn off ADR and ASR and initial balance. All right, we're about 5 minutes away from the open of the crude oil market, but as you can see here on the 4-hour chart, we've been in a bullish channel to the upside. Okay, so you can see that the market, depending on how you want to look at this, how you want to draw this, I should say, we've either broken to the downside, or maybe I can do an adjustment like this. Yeah, that still has us breaking to the downside. Okay, right. So we've broken to the downside. The question is price going to come back inside value? All right, inside the channel and continue to the upside. All right, or are we going to use the bottom of this channel as an area for further price action to move to the downside? Okay. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now on the 4-hour. 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Here we are. Again, we have same series of candles. We've gotten some rejection off the bottom of this channel that I drew on the 4-hour. So again, right now, as long as we stay below, right, stay below, say 76, I would say that there's a fair chance that we continue lower. Okay, in this market, based on what I'm seeing here, we got a swing, we got a little bit of consolidation, we broke the channel to the downside, and we haven't been able to come back inside 76 at this point, right? So if I'm long, well, I need to see 76 broken to the upside. When I say broken, I need a close. I need a candle to close above this area here. Okay. Something along this lines, right? I need to see a candle that closes inside, right? Inside this area and above this area in order for me to really embrace the longs. Right now, we're kind of in a region where probably it's a little bit maybe premature to go short, okay, without seeing maybe a little bit more rejection away from 76. I'm almost, kind of inclined here to participate in the long, but the problem is the long really hasn't broken any structure to the upside, okay? So that's going to be my line in the sand, 76 for the crude oil market. We'll go ahead and add our levels here. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and add our levels. So we'll go ahead and add this up here. Okay, these are levels that we'll be tracking in this market. We have the ADR range. We'll just double check 78.63, and we have 76.07 as our average daily range low. A little bit lower than that, 76.03. Market is about a couple of minutes away from opening, so let's move this to London for now. Okay, that's a little bit closer to. But I expect that once the session opens here in a couple of minutes, that these ranges will adjust. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to New York. Okay, and the expectation is that this session range will readjust and probably be closer to what we see as far as our average daily range. Okay, so the next order of business here is I'm going to take a look at our markets. Let's make sure that we have the correct ranges here. Okay. All right. So we're going to double confirm our value area high here as 77.38, our value area low at 75.82, and our point of control at 77.04. Okay. Settlement price is at 77.14. Right now, price is below all of that. Okay. So it has the potential, or it kind of leading us to believe that since we are below value and below some of these levels, that we could be experiencing some further price action to the downside. Okay, in this market. All right. Hey Ziggy. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait for this initial balance. Initial balance range is being established here, and let the initial balance range tell us what direction that they want to take this market. But right now, if I were to, I guess if I were to pick a direction, I would say that I think we have probably a better chance of going lower than higher. Okay. But if we do, with that said, if we do get a close above 76, I'm not going to be shy in changing my opinion here. Okay. So if I do a anchor VWAP, my anchor VWAP is going to be back to the top of the channel here, and maybe to the start of, I guess, the close of Monday here. So again, same kind of area that we've been talking about. As this area right here, seems to be an area that is a seller zone. Okay. Seller zone for me, right? As long as price stays below this level, then I have to err on the side of further price action to the downside. Okay. In this market, if we cannot break above 76, then we're going to be auctioning down to maybe as low as 74.50. Okay. So we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out with the initial balance range. Okay. But right now, I would have to say that my view on crude is a bit on the potential bearish side. Okay. All right. If we do get above anchor VWAP and do get above some price structure here, that probably will mean that we break initial balance, and that could lead to a very nice trade back up to settlement. All right. So I have 77 to the upside if we do get there, and I have 74.56. So right now we're kind of in the indecision here. Looks like there is a little bit, maybe developing a little bit of a strength here to the upside. But I'm just going to wait for this initial balance. I'm not going to pick a direction. Your ASR just changed. Yeah. Did it? Okay. So we have 76.54. Let's see. Let's picture New York. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we have 76.54 to the upside. Okay. So let's modify that. 76.54 average session range high. And What else do we have here? We have average session range low is 74.56. 74.56. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at here in this market. Like I said, I'm going to be patient and wait for this initial balance range to establish, and then basically look, hoping that maybe we keep this narrow range, because the effort to break this range in one direction is probably not going to require a whole lot, and that could support maybe a potential sustained auction trade in one direction. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to be sitting on my hands for now, waiting for these candles to establish here over the next 50 minutes. Okay. Looks like I'm looking. I wanted to look at volume delta here, just to see what volume delta is doing. Okay, so volume delta seems to be a little indecisive, maybe slightly bullish at this point. Uh, but if I am going to be bullish, I need price to get above 76. Okay. All right. I think that's what I have to say for crude oil. And then we can go ahead and move into the equity market. All right. So let's move into let's move over here. Let's move in, turn off some of my levels. We'll turn this off here. We'll turn it off here. Initial balance. Okay. All right. And we'll turn, what's my, all right. Let's take a look and see what the daily chart is telling us on this market. Okay, looking at the Nasdaq, I'm looking at the volume delta here. Volume delta seems to be a little bit bearish at the moment. Okay. But it's a lot of overlap here, right? There's really no conviction. I would say that's probably more strength to the downside than there is to the upside. Okay, so daily chart, similar. This kind of has a kind of a similar look and feel to the gold, right? A lot of overlapping candles. This makes for quite challenging trade, guys. To be honest, this would probably be a market, I mean, that I would obviously be very patient with, right? Because again, it's still trying to figure out what direction to go to next. Now, if we look at it of late, well, we've been in an uptrend of late, and then more recently, I guess since tail end of September, we've been in this kind of rangy market in the Nasdaq. All right, moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, again, more range. We've kind of topped out. Oh, this is wrong market. What am I doing? I was looking at the Dow. Sorry, guys. Let's go back. But I think, oops. All right. So here, let's remove some of my drawings. Okay. So we'll look at the 4-hour, because I don't think that, I think the range behavior is probably better visible in the 4-hour anyway. Okay, so here we are. We are above my little sentiment indicator of the 233-day EMA. ADX is really not telling us any sort of direction at this point. There seems to be that maybe the bears might be a little bit in control of the market at the moment, but it doesn't carry a whole lot of strength. Okay, it's kind of on the weaker side. Okay. So we do have some lower highs and lower lows in this market, but it looks like we found a fair amount of support here at 19,960, okay, or 955, 900 level. This seems to be an area that is supportive. okay, in this market. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the chart here. Okay, I do see a fair amount of support here. All right, so we'll just go ahead and mark that. Okay, as long as price stays above this level, then I have to think that maybe price will continue to the upside. Okay, as long as price stays above this, then I have to think this. Now, is there some things in the area that could cause price to fail? Absolutely. We have the 20,000 level. We have 20,200. Could cause sellers to kind of step back into this market. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Here we are. We're kind of in range. We're still about 20 minutes or so from the opening of the market. Our ADX indicator is really not telling us much in the way of a direction. We're pretty much overlapping between the positive and the negative. Volume delta is doing the same. Really a market that's a little bit on the dull side, I would say, at the moment, based on these two indicators. Okay. Now, again, similar to what we said with crude oil, if we do manage to close above 20,000, say 20,100, then I would say that I think the bulls would secure control of the market. Okay, we're above settlement price. We're above 200 EMA. These are two, I guess, indications that there's a chance that we could see further upside in this market. Let's see. If we do stay below this 233-day EMA, that could lead us back down. Okay, because I do see that we had some sellers here. Crude is dumping. Okay. Yeah, I think that we kind of we had mentioned that if it wasn't able to get back inside. All right. Okay. So yeah, so in any case, if we do get back above this 233-day EMA and get above, say, 20,100, then I would say that we continue to move higher. If not, and we stay below the 200 EMA and get below, say, 20,050, then that could lead us to further price action to the downside. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our levels. We'll add our levels to the charts here. Okay, so here are our levels. All right, we're going to go ahead and open up ADR now. We're going to open up ADR. So it's coming in at, what is that? 20,178 is our ADR high. Yeah, and ADR low coming in at 19,874. That seems to be right as well. We're going to go ahead and open up ASR with the understanding that the market still hasn't technically opened. Okay, so we have 20,011. This probably is London. Okay, no, New York. All right. This might adjust a little bit. We got 20,000, 20,011. Okay, so we're going to modify this to 11 here. Okay, 11. And we got average session range high at 263. Okay, 263 is our average session range high. Okay, so like I said, if we maintain above the EMA, if we get above, say, 20,100, that will, I would say that would be the recipe for us to get back to settlement from Friday. Okay, Friday settlement. Okay, that's a possibility. Maybe as high as the ASR. Okay, high. Okay, if we do get above 20,100. Okay, if we don't get above 20,100 and we break 20,050, I think we revisit some of these prices below us. Okay, before we make any sort of trek to the upside. But it does feel, and you can see we're starting to get some indication here that maybe we do have a fair amount of buying coming in. We have about almost 1,500 orders net to the bullish side. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the Nasdaq market. Again, we're about 15 minutes or so away from the market opening, so I'll be patient and wait for that to happen. Okay, before I make any sort of before I commit to any sort of trades here. Okay. All right, so let's continue with our review, and let's focus in on the ES. Okay, so the ES is looking a little bit very similar to what we were seeing in the NASDAQ. We'll just go ahead and open up the daily just to get a feel for what it's trying to do here. And again, we see that we are in this kind of overlapping muck, all right, of the on the market. Again, very difficult, guys, very difficult trading. When the market doesn't really have any conviction in either direction. Okay. Right now, we are in this, kind of overlapping price, right? The moment people think that we're going to head lower, we reverse. The moment we think that we're going to head higher, we reverse. Okay. Not a quite challenging market to trade, to be honest. Okay. So again, price has been bullish, okay, but has been, I would say, more neutral of late. Okay. We have a fair number of sellers, that have kind of stepped in. You're welcome, Shark Trends. Fair number of sellers that have stepped into this market, in a couple of instances. Yeah, it is quite possible that we remain in this muck until the elections. Okay, so which makes for a very difficult market to trade. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, again, really not any sort of indication in either direction. We buy when we get close to 57.40. And then we need to think about maybe selling or when we get close to 58.25. That's kind of the range that we're in. Is that a tradable range? Absolutely. Is it easy? No, not necessarily. Right. So again, that might be enough of evidence for me to maybe look at other markets that maybe offer me some potential for some more trending trades. Okay, but certainly a range that could be traded. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart. We'll go ahead and adjust this to the current contract. All right, so here we are. We're going to again remove some drawings here. Again, similar kind of thing that we were kind of looking at and talking about. Yeah, divergence trade could very well benefit from this market, right? So again, similar to what we were saying in the NASDAQ, I would say that I would probably need to get a close above 57.70, all right, to really embrace a long here, okay? And that long could lead us back up to ADR, all right? That certainly is within the cards here. This is actually looking a little bit clearer to me than maybe the NASDAQ, all right? The ASR here, let's see, where is ASR? Okay, we have ASR, we're above ASR. Yeah, so if we get above 57.70, I think there's a fair opportunity that it would lead back up to 57.80. Okay. If we fail to break 57.70 and we break below, say, 57.64, then I would say that the opposite is true. Okay, that we would head back down to this other ASR level, maybe back down to settlement price. Okay, but we've broken settlement relatively strong. Okay, to the upside. We could come back and retest the conviction of these buyers before we reverse away. Okay, so a couple of areas where I would potentially look for long. My preference would be more on this one. I feel like I'm not a fan of paying necessarily retail. Okay, so let's see if I can find my VWAP. There's my VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and add an anchored VWAP here. Let's see. This is okay. This London. So again, guys, we are above daily, above anchor VWAP, above ASR low. above, working to get above this 233-day EMA. So right now, I would have to, I guess, focus maybe my attention on this view. This is my first hypo that we're going to continue higher. Okay, if we do manage to close below 57.64, then this hypo is into play, and then the third hypo would be coming back down to this level and reversing and continuing our move to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing. Let me go ahead and add our levels here before we move on and close out the session with a review of the Dow. All right, so we'll go ahead and add our levels here. We'll make sure that we have our ADR. We'll have our value range. Okay, relatively large value range. Right now we're in the middle of value. So we have 57.88 as our value area high. We have 57.50, 75 as our value area low. Point of control at 57.82. Settlement at 57.50. So yeah, a lot of price action in an area of value. Okay, we're not really at any significant extremes here. Okay, to cause market participants to have to step in and protect their positions. Okay, so yeah, so like I said, I think the same holds true. I'm not really, I would say it is a little bit a middle of swings, or we don't want to necessarily diddle in the middle, I guess, as prior mentor used to say to me. We probably would be better served in waiting for the market to make make a move in either direction. Okay, and maybe look to, if we get back to here, maybe look to fade. If we get back down to here, maybe look to buy. In the middle, I'm not so sure. Maybe if we get closer to the anchor VWAP or the daily VWAP, that would maybe help me a little bit better. But nonetheless, I can't deny the fact that it looks like we want to break some structure to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for the ES. We're going to go ahead and close the session. Unless there's any questions, we're going to go ahead and close the session on the YM. Okay, I was kind of reviewing that earlier. So YM, similar kind of view on the 30-minute, although I would say that we're not quite as high. Ideally, again, would like to see price above this 233-day EMA. We're seeing very much a waning momentum, although I think we're just maybe some price movement away from maybe seeing some movement to the upside. What I like about this over, say, ES is that we're very much closer to a reference level here, right? I have two main levels here where I can manage my risk. I have value area low and I have settlement price. Okay, so if I do decide to look for an execution at this level, well, one, I need to see price get above 42,000, say 333. Okay. Give me 2 minutes, go live and teach you all how to trade. Yeah, Devil. Okay. I'm gonna ignore that comment. We'll just move on. Okay. So in any case, guys, I think there's an opportunity to move to for price to continue to the upside. Okay. I would say that the reference levels that we can use here are value area low and settlement, and that would offer us some opportunities and to be able to manage our risk. Okay. So we'll go ahead and let's see if I can do this. We'll give our Devil 666 a little taste here. Don't think that comment was really all that necessary. So he's been put in a timeout. Okay. All right. Yes, I just put the ban hammer on him. Yes. Okay. All right. So in any case, guys, let's see if we can identify some levels here that we can use to support our trades. So we're going to go ADR high here, is coming in at 42,471. ADR low coming in at, where's ADR low? Coming in at 42,048. 42,048. And then we have, let's see, our value area high. Okay, see, value area high at 42. Value area high at 42,584. Point of control at 42,510. Value area low at 42,276. And settlement is at 42,258. Okay. All right. All right. So again, guys, so those are kind of some levels that we'll be tracking. The initial balance range, we're about 6 minutes away from the market opening. Like I said, guys, the based on the current structure, I'm thinking up. Okay. Based on the current structure and the fact. So if I do decide to go down, if I do decide I don't need to risk all that much. Okay. I need to risk about, looks like about 60 points. All right. 60 points is what? About what, $300 on a single mini? Is that right? In the Dow, for the potential to make maybe double that. Okay. Maybe get us back up to ADR high. Okay. So there is something here. I'm questioning, I guess, maybe the time of day for that. And the fact that we have the open of the session that's going to happen here in about 5 minutes. Okay. So yeah, as long as price stays above, and if I do get a close above, say 42,330, I would say that there's maybe an opportunity to the upside. If price gets below, say 42,245, then I would say that there's an opportunity that we could revisit some of these lows, maybe beyond. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the markets, guys. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm seeing in the markets. Happy to entertain any questions. We have about 5 minutes remaining before the market it does indeed open. Otherwise, just gonna wish you guys a very profitable session. Okay. I see that our likes are equal to the number of participants currently in the market, not in the market, in the session. Okay. Got markets in the brains, guys. Apologize. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think. Yeah. So we'll close it here. Yes, David. I will be. I don't know. Is it? I can't recall which day that is. I think it's going to be. What day are you on with Diana? I believe it's going to be Thursday. Thursday. Yeah, I think it's going to be Thursday. All right. Thursday. Yeah, time is sometime during the London session. Okay. On Thursday. All right. You're welcome, guys. So trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Yeah, I need to set my alarm too. Hopefully, I don't oversleep there because yeah. So I definitely need to set my alarm as well. So okay. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for me. Again, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. Have a good day and have a very profitable session today. All right. We will have group coaching later today, later this afternoon, and I'll be hanging out in the coaches room here over the next hour or so, and then we'll catch up some of you guys later today. All right, guys, have an excellent day of trade. Yes, stay green. Bye for now.